Black and White Network, this has not been a good day for Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. Nathan Wade was actually on the stand. It did not go good for him. Even MSNBC was saying, yeah, Fani Willis is in a whole bunch of trouble. She's going to get removed from this case. The charges may actually be thrown out. Astonishing. Guys, we need to talk about Fani Willis because she actually got in front of the judge. She was actually giving her testimony. And boy, it got wild. Wild, okay? Now, Fani Willis, we've seen her out there going into the black church, screaming racism, right? Yeah, she was pretty much doing the same thing on the stand today, guys. I mean, she's getting grilled, man, and her only excuse is racism. Astonishing, right? Absolutely astonishing. We got a clip of Fani Willis, guys, and she has a complete meltdown. You guys are not going to believe this here. So we're going to be getting into that, guys. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Remember, live stream every single Friday. We're going to be having one tomorrow. Just starts at $5 per month. If you're watching on Rumble, click the join button, get access to the same thing. Let's get into this, guys. So right here, let's start off with this clip here from MSNBC. Check this out. Fani Willis should consider removing herself. It's getting ugly. This is actually from MSNBC. Let's go ahead and watch some of this clip, guys.
And with me here in Washington, Chuck Rosenberg, former U.S. attorney and senior FBI official. He's also an MSNBC contributor. Chuck, we've been watching Nathan Wade, who Fani Willis hired to basically be the managing partner, if you will, of the prosecution. And his assertion and hers that their relationship, their romantic relationship that they had previously denied, started after he had begun working for her. There's conflicting testimony here, though, from a former associate.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly right, Andrea. There is conflicting testimony. A woman named Robin Yurti testified earlier this morning that she had been close friends with Fani Willis and that she observed that Ms. Willis and Mr. Wade had a romantic relationship. And she described seeing, sort of the things that you might see when two people are dating, affection. Contrast that with what Mr. Wade just said on the stand, which was that they did have a romantic relationship, but it did not start as early as Ms. Yurti said it started. It started, to your point, after he was hired by the district attorney on a contractual basis to work on this case. So what does that mean? You have two different stories, X and not X. And now the finder of fact, the judge in this case, is going to have to make a determination based on testimony, on credibility, on his assessment of the witnesses, and perhaps on other witnesses yet to come.
And so far, he's been questioned by Michael Roman, a co-defendant of Donald Trump's attorney. Now, if the judge does decide that they're in this conflict, that Nathan Wade and potentially Fani Willis in her assertions, she may well take the stand as well, but in her assertions, the affidavit to the court, that if they misrepresented, basically lied to the court, do you think that, well, that would disqualify them, but do you think that there is becoming, as we watch this testimony and we're going to see more lawyers for these co-defendants, including Donald Trump, potentially questioning him and then a cross-examination. But if it's determined that they have apparently misled, even before the judge rules in this case, do you think we should reach a point where, for the interest of protecting the trial, the entire Fulton County trial, that they should voluntarily step aside?
So it's a great question. So this is not going well for the state. It could turn out okay, and it might turn out worse. But I think a district attorney, a U.S. attorney, a prosecuting official has a special obligation to the case. In fact, I had grabbed some language from a 1935 Supreme Court case. I used to keep this excerpt from Berger v. U.S. on my desk when I was a prosecutor, and when I was the United States Attorney. I'm not going to read all of it, I promise, but I just wanted to read a sentence. The prosecutor is the representative not of an ordinary party to a controversy, but of a sovereignty whose obligation is to govern impartially, and that obligation is as compelling as its obligation to govern at all, and whose interest, therefore, is not that it shall win a case, but that justice shall be done. Prosecutors have a higher obligation. It's not personal. It's not egotistical. It's not about you. It's about the office and the pursuit of justice. To your point, it might be appropriate for Ms. Willis to consider removing herself from this case now and turning the reins over to a senior official in the district attorney's office and let him or her handle it. Because this is getting ugly and it's getting messy, and my guess is it's not going to get better.
Wow. So you heard that right there, guys. I don't think she's going to drop out. She's not. Fani Willis, guys, by the way, had a meltdown on the stand. A meltdown. She was asked a simple question. I believe, did you have any contact with Nathan Wade in, I believe, 2020 is the question. And then she melts down. She goes full race card here, guys. Watch this. You're not going to believe this.
Last area, briefly.
Yes, sir.
You had contact with Mr. Wade in the year 2020, correct?
I had some contact with Mr. Wade.
Would you explain when you say some contact? Please tell us, talking about 2020.
I had some contact with Mr. Wade in 2020. One of the reasons your allegations are so preposterous, or Ms. Merchants that you have joined, is...
Ma'am, I didn't ask you about the allegations. I asked you about your contact. That's all I ask you.
Yep.
Okay? I appreciate that you want to say something, but I'm interested in, did you have contacts with Mr. Wade in 2020? And your answer so far has been yes, correct?
very limited contact because Mr. Wade had a form of cancer that makes your allegations somewhat ridiculous.
I do appreciate the characterization.
I'm not going to emasculate a black man, but I'm just telling you.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm not going to emasculate a black man. Did you understand that?
All right,
well, I don't think we should discuss further.
Mr. Sadow, next question.
Wow. Wow. That is ridiculous right there. I mean, she's essentially, accusing him of racism right there. Astonishing, man. Absolutely astonishing. Look here. Over here, she takes defense to being a hostile witness. Now, I believe the female attorney for Michael Roman is named Ashley. Her name is slipping my mind right now. Slipping my mind right now at the moment. But she's going to mention her name. Watch this clip here.
Point where Ms. Willis should be treated hostile in this situation.
I think we have.
I very much want to be here, so I'm not a hostile witness. I very much want to be
Not
here.
so much that you're hostile, Ms. Willis, it'd be an adverse witness. Your interests are opposed to Ms. Merchant's.
Ms. Merchant's interests are contrary to democracy, Your Honor, not to mine.
Contrary to democracy. Ashley Merchant, that's Michael Roman's lawyer right there. Yeah, this woman is deranged, man. She is deranged. Now, check this out. She admits to something that I think is very questionable right here. Talking about the first campaign money that she received. She actually admits to keeping some of that money. Yeah. Look at this.
Whole life, when I took out a large amount of money on my first campaign, I kept some of the cash of that. Like, to tell you I just have cash in my house, I don't have as much today.
Wow. You saw that right there, guys. Things are not going good for Fani Willis, man. It is not going good for her. This is looking very, very bad. MSNBC even knows it. What is going to happen, guys, to Fani Willis? It is getting bad, man. She's having a meltdown on the stand. Playing the race card. In typical fashion, man. When you don't have a good defense for yourself, guess what? The left, they always play the race card. This is not a surprise, but that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.